might need to give you guys in the back a heads up to start, or are you just going to be already recording? You good? Okay, sounds good. So you pick all this up, great, okay. Hello, come on in. Get comfortable. All right, it is 1:30. We're going to get started in just a second. How's it going, everybody? All right. Well, we have a time crunch today. We're going to try to do a lot in a short period of time. So we're going to get started right on time here. This will be recorded, so if you guys miss anything, don't worry, and you can always follow up with me afterwards over email. If you can catch me out there, great, or over Twitter. My name is Phil Weinmeister. I'm the product director of customer engagement for CloudCraze. We do e-commerce on Salesforce, native on Salesforce, that is. And today we're going to build a basic Salesforce community in 20 minutes. So the point here is I want to show you guys, first of all, how easy it is to use the Lightning templates, the Napili template specifically, and then also how nice it can look in a short period of time. Obviously, you would, in a real life scenario, spend more time building out for your specific audience, of course, and there's some pre-work I've already done, which I'll mention in a second. Thank you to our Platinum sponsors. They are excellent, and here they are. Hopefully you stop by their booths today. Like I said, I'm Phil Weinmeister. Mention who I am already. One thing you might find interesting, I have a book out, practicalsalesforce.com Development Without Code. So if you like the clicks and not the code, not that there's anything wrong with code, but you might like that book. Workflow rules, validation rules, approval processes, all that good core stuff for declarative development. And then you can follow me on Twitter if you want. I do a lot of blog posts that you might find of interest. All right, this is really the only slide we have today because we're going to jump in and do a demo. And not even a demo, we're going to actually build a community. So it's important to understand what we're setting up beforehand. So there's a lot of things you need to deal with. Obviously, you need to have your community licensing in place. Salesforce knowledge, if you use that, you need to have that set up and the licensing in place, all that good stuff. Related assets, so I've downloaded all those, I have them in a folder, I'm all ready to go. So obviously there's a little bit more work than what you're gonna see today, a little bit more legwork up front, but save that because you don't wanna see me downloading images from Google. That's not really that fun. So we're gonna build a basic community. It has knowledge, Q&A, reputation, cases, custom components, and more. And we're gonna do it now in 18 minutes or less. So let's go ahead and create a community. Let's jump out of there, and here we go. All right, let me make this full size here. Okay, I'm trying to be good with getting on that Lightning experience. So this will be this is the second time I've done this, the first time using the Lightning experience within the org that I'm using. So let's get started. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, I'm already logged in. Let's go to setup. And we're going to find the community section here. So I'm going to search for com. We pull up all communities. Let's go in there. All right, well, there's the button that is calling our name, new community. So go ahead. We're going to click on new community. And you get an option here. You have the 3 Lightning templates at the top. You have the app launcher, which is for something different, and then the tabs in Visualforce. That's the old way of doing things. You can still do a lot of awesome stuff. If you want to go completely custom, that's how you have to go. Or if you want to go the old tabs route, which I wouldn't recommend that. But if you want to use Lightning, make it look good, build it quickly, let's do that. Napili has a little more functionality than the other templates, so we're going to choose Napili. All right, we're going to create the Southeast Sportin community. You may recognize where that's coming from. We'll call it SSC. Will be the extension for the URL, and let's go ahead and create the community. Obviously, this is just the shell here, and then we're going to build it out once we get it created. All right, let's go right into community management. The community management console has a lot of what you need to set up to get this going. So let's go right into administration first, and we're going to go to preferences. And we're going to set a few things that are going to drive some of the other settings. So let's enable nickname display. So you can have that, so if you don't want their first and last name showing in the community, you can do that. Also, let's go ahead and set up display of reputation levels. We're going to configure that. And then let's set knowledgeable people on topics as well. So we're going to go ahead and save. And if you notice on the left, reputation just appeared. That was hidden before. That's because it was not relevant. So from here, let's actually go up to reputation, and let's set that. So chatter reputation, if you're not familiar with it, basically is your points, your activity points based on the activities you perform within the community. It's configurable. You can extend it with code, and you can capture really anything you want and provide points for it. So there are levels associated with those points. This is really nice. Now it used to be only through code. Now you can do it through clicks, and you can go ahead and create icons for each of these levels. So you determine how many points for each level, so on and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and create 4 levels here. All right, so I have this little hiker guy with 4 levels, and just for speed, we're just going to call them level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. I was trying to come up with something witty, but I just couldn't do it today. So here we go. But you can do whatever you want. You can make it professional or fun. And we're going to get rid of these extra levels. And you'll notice when I get down to level 4, it'll just say 401 or more points. So we're going to go ahead and save that. So we've created our reputation levels. Those are all set. The points, we're not going to change, but I'll just show you quickly. This is what it looks like. So if you want to change the amount of points somebody gets for asking a question, you can do that. Quick story, it's kind of funny. Cloud Craze, we built the website for PonoMusic.com, Neil Young's startup. And one thing that was interesting is people really care about these points. And we had to turn off getting a point for liking a post because one guy literally got 9,000 points that way. That means he spent about a week clicking on everything in the entire community, and other people got really upset about that. So that'll happen. That's people. But all right, let's go into recommendations. We're going to add a recommendation here as well. Let's go ahead and click New. This is a way that you can tie into the API and make this even more flexible, and you can do this for audiences as well. That's something new, but we're just going to do a basic thing. So I found something coming up in the area, St. Patrick's Day 5K, something actually happening, I think, this weekend. And let's get the image for it. Here we go. And this will be something that's in your community, and you can drive people to a website or something else. We'll say description, how about feeling lucky? All right. Button text, register, although honestly I think registration is closed. So for website, I don't have it copied to my clipboard. For now, we're just going to put in Salesforce's website because we're not actually going to use it. We're not going to click on it, but I want to show it to you guys. So let's enable it, and let's go ahead and click Save. And I'll show you the preview just so you can see it. So that's what it'll look like in our community. See this guy with the lucky shirt, and you can register or say, I'm not interested. Great, so that's saved. We're all set there. Let's move up to topics, and let's set some topics. So with topics, you have a few options here. Just to break these down really quickly, topic management is basically at the lowest level, just a topic associated with anything. If you want to create a topic in advance, you can do that here. Navigational topics are for, like, if you're asking a question and you want, like, which topics can I associate with a question community that will be suggested to me. If I go through the search at the top, that's what navigational topics are. And then featured are basically, what do you want to show in your home page? So you have to create feature topics as navigational topics first. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to have, we're going with this sporting theme, outdoor sports. Let's do pictures will help as well. So we have up the mountain, on the water. Let's go with in the air and under the ground. That's an interesting one. With the team for team sports, and then at the gym. All right, I'm going quickly. Like I said, we got to get through all this. This will be recorded, but so these are the navigational topics. I'm going to change one of them just to show you guys. So you can actually set a banner for this topic page. So these are out-of-the-box topic pages for every topic you create. If you go to that topic, there'll be a page automatically there. You don't have to create that, but you can set a banner for it, which is pretty nice. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead. I have an image ready. I'm going to upload that. And so when we go to this topic, you'll see across the top, the header banner actually will change, which is pretty cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead and save. Now we need to go to featured topics. And now we need to take from those navigational topics and set the featured topics. So let's go ahead and go through these. On the water, let's add that. In the air. And I like to add 6 in this case because at full screen it shows 3 across, so it just looks nicer. But it's responsive, so it will adjust to your browser width, which is really nice. Okay, so we've set that. Let's just save that. So I have the topic set for the home page, but let's go one step further and let's add images, which makes it look much, much better. So I have images ready to go. So you just click, upload those. Let's go to on the water, in the air. All right, underground, here we go. Cave diving. Haven't done it myself. All right, at the gym. All right, so we have all these images uploaded, which, again, the point here is we're not taking very much time, but we're going to end up having a very nice looking community that's functional in one article. And let's see, let's add a topic to this one. It's about a tent, let's say up the mountain. Maybe you're gonna camp on the way up. And you'll see what happens with that. So I associated this article to a particular topic, and we'll see that in a minute. All right, so as we keep going here, so we've done the topics, and for now, that's all we're going to do in the community management console. Now for the real fun part, community builder. So this is specifically for these lightning templates for Napili and the other two, not for the tabs and Visualforce template. And this is great. It's drag and drop. It's pretty easy to use, and the Community Cloud team, I work with them a lot. They are putting a lot of time and effort into building this out and making this very powerful. So there's some really exciting stuff that's going to be coming later this year. Right now, there are some features that may not be found in some like web content management applications. They're focusing on it. So just look for that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see this better. All right, so just to show you at a basic level what you can do quickly, let's go ahead and change the colors. You know, we're talking outdoor sporting. Okay, I'll make it the button green. So I just clicked here on this theme. You can also upload an image right there, and then it will take the colors in that image in your logo, let's say, and it'll suggest a palette from that. Go ahead and upload the company logo. Yes, I made that myself. All right, header image. Here we go. So let's get that up there. And you can start to see already, once the header image populates, okay, this is starting to look like a legitimate website that you might show to your customers here. So there's no saving. Everything is automatically saved after every change. When you publish, that's when it's going to go out. I believe Safe Harbor from Salesforce, but I believe they'll have versions at some point. Right now, they don't, so you have basically your current version, and you can publish it, or you can keep working on it in here. All right, so that's all we're doing for branding. We're going to go to this other tab on the left, Page Editor. Let's go in here. We're going to change a few things. So I want to show you if we're getting down another level deeper into the configuration here. So let's change the banner text. You click on a component. So these are actually all Lightning components. What you're looking at here when you see the box. These are sections where you see the dotted lines, and then the boxes are the Lightning components. When you click on that, over on the right, you'll see the configurations that are available to you. So you can go in and you can say, like, here, a place where you can easily find solutions. I'll just say a place where you can meet the Southeast Sporting community. All right, and we'll leave it at that. And when you click off of that, when you lose focus from that area, you'll see it immediately updates, which is really nice. So you can always see what it's going to look like. There's also preview at the top right if you want to see that. Okay, so we changed the text. Let's do a few other things. Let's go ahead and add a standard component to this page. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go ahead and just do something basic. Rich text, let's drop that in. So So it's empty because I need to add the text in here. So I'll say, want to learn more, contact phil@ssc.com. Okay, and then you can take this, you can link it, and then you can say URL or email. Let's say email. Great, okay. And let's make that a little bit bigger. Oh, that's a little smaller. Let's go the other way. All right, 18. Great. Okay, so that's there. We just dropped that on, no time. Let's also, so we have recommendations. That's already there on the right. You can see that. I'm also going to add, I want to show you guys custom components as well. So we are building an app, a blog app for Community Cloud. It's actually not tied to our core commerce product, so anybody can use it, and it will be free actually. It's pretty cool stuff. So I'm not going to go into detail on that, but what I want to show you is what that'll look like to take a custom component that's not from Salesforce and drop it in. So this is the featured blog post component. There's no content showing up because I have one extra step to do to associate my blog with this community that wasn't created as of 15 minutes ago. So I have that in there, and let's make two more changes. Let's go to the navigation menu. So I just clicked on that bar at the top where it says topics, and it brings up the navigation menu on the right in property editor. And let's add one thing here. Let's go in, we're going to add a contact support tab. And you can go in here and you can say, use a community page that exists, external URL, so on and so forth, link to an object directly. You can show a list view right out of the box. Very easy stuff. We'll just say, go to this page, contact support, and let's save changes. Yes, it'll be published immediately. Just that tab. For whatever reason, it's based on the architecture, that'll be published immediately, but the rest of the site hasn't been published yet. All right, so last thing, let's go to the login page. This is another really cool thing about the new templates, the Lightning templates, is just you can make the experience look much better. I don't know if any of you guys remember back in the day with portal logins. They've come a long way from there. So let's go to, we see the Salesforce logo. I'm going to change that. But let's go to branding. Let's do background image. I have a background image ready. And let's go ahead, login background. Let's upload that. All right, that looks a lot better. And we're going to change that Salesforce icon as well. I'm going to go ahead and publish. All right, let's publish that. And then we're going to jump out and go back into the community management console. We've all done, and we're coming up on time. All right, let's go back to administration, login, and registration. So first, let's get that company logo in there. Let's just say ssc.com for Southeast Sport and Community. It's already linking to the login page within Community Builder, so that's good. Sure, let's allow external users to register. That's below. And let's go ahead and save. All right, so we've set that up. Couple things left. So we got the logo image, change the login page. We do need to add our members. So we haven't done that yet. That's obviously very important. We go into members, and this is also a big change from the way Portals was done. It's very easy to use. Go in here, grab the, you can use permission sets too, which is pretty huge. You can give access through permission sets or through profiles. We're going to take this profile, this custom profile, just drop it over and save. And depending on your email configuration, they will get an email saying welcome to the community, and you can configure that as well. You can change that email however you want, or you can suppress it if you don't want them to see it. So we have two last steps. I'm going to go ahead and activate the community here, and we're going to go to settings, activate. Okay, so your community is activated. Now, there's one step, if you remember, I mentioned with that custom component, I needed to make one change to the blog to make sure it shows up properly in here. So let's do this. We're going to go to this, the app launcher. I'm going to go to other items, and I'm going to go to blog admin. Again, this is custom, so you wouldn't know this is in here normally. Here's this blog that we already have created, but now I need to associate it with my new community. All right, we're going to go to edit blog, and then see it's associated with a different one, Southeast Sport and Community. Let's save. So now that should show up, and we should see the featured blog post there in the community. All right, so the last thing, if I did everything I should have done, we are actually ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and log in. Let me get the login URL. Let's go back to communities and go to that management console. Let's go to manage right here next to Southeast Sporting. Go to login. Oops, I'm sorry, settings. That login. Here's the URL. So we're going to go ahead and log in. It should bring me to the login page, which is branded with our logo. It's been taking a little while to pop the username and password fields today. I'm not sure what that's about, but it'll come up in a second here. Okay, so there it is, and there's our logo. So looks pretty nice, huh? This is much better than what was there before, even with just the tabs interface. So we have, if I remember it, so I created a login here, and let's see. Of course, now I'm 1 second. All right, give me 1 second. There he is, Matty Ice at STO. Okay, here we go. We have a user. You may know who that is. And then we have, put in the password. And let's log in. Okay, I'm in. So he has access, which is great. And here's our site. Let's see if what we set up works in just 20 minutes. So the way communities work, the first time the site loads, there is a little bit of a delay, but from there, then you won't see that delay after that. Okay, so we have our featured topics. There they are. They look great. We have all those images all set up. If I go to Up the Mountain, like I mentioned before, we're going to see a couple things that are unique. First, we have that unique header, so that banner is different. And then also, if you remember that article that we set up, we associated with this particular topic. So that's there as well. Let's go back home. We also have on the right, we have the recommendation. So if you click register, you'd go to that website, or if you click I'm not interested, that'll go away. Then you'll see another recommendation in place there. Down below, we have a custom component that we dropped in, featured blog posts. There you go, introducing the Southeast Sporting Community. We have the rich text on the left. I didn't mention this, but we have the leaderboard that was also on there. But what you can see is Matty Ice and I are both at level 1, so we have that level 1 icon. We also see the training articles down below. And then last thing, up top, we see contact support. We have that link there. Here are all those topics we set up. And we also customized the banner text at the top. So that's what you can do in 20 minutes. You can set up your basic community with quite a bit of functionality. There's obviously a lot more you can do if you spend more time. There were some setup things that I did in advance as well, but it's very easy to use, very powerful. In my opinion, much better to use than the old tabs interface. So I think I have to. I guess I could take a couple questions if anybody has anything. Yeah. Yeah. So there is something to understand about Lightning components specific to Community Cloud. So these components that are built for Community Cloud are built in that way. They're built specifically for Community Cloud. So you would create a Lightning component, build that out, and then you have to make it basically accessible within Community Cloud. So a component that might be used in a Sales Cloud context wouldn't necessarily be something that you could use in this framework. But Community Cloud right now, they're actually going to be announcing a set of components from partners that are coming out. So be on the lookout for that in the next month or so. On AppExchange, you'll notice now there's a section called Components. You'll see a lot more content in there over the next couple months. So those are the types of components you can go and get, take those, install those, and drop them, literally drag and drop them into your community. Now, there may be configuration and stuff like that. I don't know if that helped answer that question specifically, but. So actually, okay, so you don't have to be using the Lightning Experience to do this. You could actually have the old look and feel in your internal org and do everything I just did. Think of them as actually separate. Community Cloud has its own interface. So you can have the old look and feel and go in, and where I click New Community at the beginning, that would all be the Aloha look, and then the Community Builder is separate. So yeah, you don't actually have to have turned on the Lightning Experience yet. You're not dependent on that. So yeah, if you're still waiting to make the switch, it doesn't impede you from using this. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where the confusion comes in, the templates, whether or not the templates are specific to the Lightning Experience or not.
Yeah, you can use them without that. So, well, I better wrap up because I know our next speaker is probably coming in here in a minute, but I appreciate it. Definitely, you guys can contact me if you have any other questions. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll be around for a few minutes as well. So thanks. Appreciate you guys being here.